Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final weekend of the PUBG European League. Of all of them, of course, until next season. But yeah, just what? Now 8 games remaining is all we have.
That's it. It's coming down to the end of it.
To decide who is going to be there, obviously who is going to be the top team for the phase, who's going to be the 6 teams we send to the PUBG Global Championships. That will be happening later on in November. And who will be sending to the promotions, which will be taking place in 2 weeks here in Berlin. We just heard from 7. Fair play to them, you know, just starting to find their feet, find their form, just at the right time, in honest. They got 2 weeks to prepare for relegations, which will almost certainly be taking part in promotions, I should say, rather than relegations. Maybe it's relegation for them, but promotion for everyone else is what they're aiming for.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I like that. I like the teams understand what's in front of them. I like that they're planning and they're starting to pick up the pace when it matters. I'd have loved to have seen it earlier, but again, it's hard for 7. They've come out of, you know, contenders. They worked their way up, of course. Some of the teams really did just springboard right to the top. You've got to look at N47, of course. They are the ones setting the bar for teams coming out of that sort of scenario and then just pushing way further than expected. They were pretty incredible, if I'm honest. 7, though, I think is more of an expected situation where it's, okay, we've got to get used to how these guys play. No one makes the same mistakes. It's harder to punish this.
NIP, will they ever step it up? Will we see it? We keep wanting it. We're hoping for that last surge. They're the only team really within shouting distance, but this team on your screen, the ones in orange with the big R on the chest, they are slipping down that table.
And it doesn't look like they've got a way to stop it. You look at other teams and they've had moments of you think, okay, that's what they needed. For Razor Edge, I don't know what they need. It feels like they don't have an easy answer. There's no, oh, okay, their rotations have just been off. Oh, okay, they've just had an individually bad day. Or, you know, it's hard to pinpoint what they need to work on here because it feels like sometimes the basics that they're looking for are just, you know, the foundations aren't quite there.
So, Knights are what? 5 points behind them. GamerLegion, 7 points behind them. No, it's not a lot.
That's really not a lot, is it?
There is no more cushion. And if you were to look further afield, DESPERADO is from 446, so they're even almost within shouting distance. Of course, they've had better performances today, though, DESPERADO, so you've got to feel they're in the right path.
Yep.
But where will we go?
I think this is just proving how competitive this always was going to be. We know that the European leagues, I always feel PEL has 2 modes. You have your high-end teams that are just, you know, out for blood constantly. You have, you know, your big 5, big 4, however you want to cut it. You'll always have them there. They are incredibly strong. There is a step down for sure, but those teams, even just below that cutoff, are so close to each other in capability that if they do manage to just refine some of those downfalls, you can see them push higher and higher and higher, and then it's, well, can you ever bridge that second gap? That's yet to be seen. We haven't seen a team fully do that. I think N47 were the only team that I've seen come out from being, I guess, considered to not be a high-tier team to be able to push that high echelon. So, on to Erangel we go, and we saw some fun old circles yesterday, didn't we? And I'm hoping we stay away from the fields, and I know the teams are hoping for a different look on this map sometimes, because it's not just us, it's not just you guys at home. They want that. They don't want to be in the fields and shacks. They want to play out from that.
It always worries me when I see the playing path going over it.
Quiet, you.
Just...
No. It's going to be a Milter circle.
It's going to be a Stahlbach.
Ruins. Oh, I'd love a bit of a ruined circle. That's such a rare treat as well because it is close to that river. Yeah. I always used to love them just because the way the hillside around it runs. And I remember when the game first came out and it was only third person. Obviously, some of the old school players will remember that one. There's that little kind of like L bend in it that used to be such a powerful position because you could perfectly peek over it. No one could see it. I used to love playing out ruins.
It is.
It's filthy.
Use in third person.
Well, I mean, it's all we had at the start. I remember back in my day, but I used to really enjoy that. FaZe have melee all to themselves here. If this hits as a melee circle, that'd be a bit rare. It feels unlikely, but it'd be a really big pickup for them. Looking across the board, though, TSM, a little further north than expected here, quite close towards the Knights. They normally head a little further south. And again, it does have a touch of that melee circle in it. This is big looting for FaZe. They're in a wonderful spot here.
Yeah, the center point's kind of the yellows where GamerLegion are. This is, again, very much a 50-50. I would say it's more of a 60-40 than anything into the north side this time. So you've got to assume it is going to pull up that way. Which, if you think about, you remove the channel and the land there, Pochinki is almost the center point. But there's a long way to go yet. I mean, you got Potato Hill all the way over to bloody Milta in this circle and quarry. It's the big old one. But there is a big slice of Sosnoff Green there, so we'll see.
And again, guys at home, in chat right now, you've seen that first circle come in. Where do you want it to
North
go?
or
That's
south?
what I want. Yeah, north or south. Do you like the melee circles? I thought it was quite fun to see it. I like it as a rarity, though. I don't like seeing it as a constant, if I'm honest. I myself love dropping Novo, right? But I don't always love seeing it as a spectator going down that way. I know it's fun to play out of. Do you guys prefer north or south? I think we've started to see a lot of those Millie Island circles, which means that it is, okay, well, who gets those compounds on the Western Road, which does become a little bit repetitive for me. I'd like it maybe to go north this time, head towards maybe where GamerLegion are, that kind of southern coast. I think it's really fun to see the fights on. We saw that with Liquid, that crazy fight at the end when N47 pulled off those crazy plays. That was beautiful to watch. So something a little different would be, made me very, very happy.
We can only hope, but as it is, no, I think it's going to go north. I think it's going to go north. I'm in the north club.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going with north.
I'm with you on that one. I think it will.
I want a Pochinki finish again.
It's been a while, I feel, since I've seen a real Pochinki ending.
Yeah, we had one, me and Rich, I think it was. So it must have been week 4, right?
I can't remember. My memory is
awful. Because we when you weren't here, so it must have been week 4.
And Sims has banked on the Millie shift incoming. He's in chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he banking on the Millie?
Say hello to the one and only Sims. He is. And, Michael, yes, stick with the VSS. Make me happy. I still think the VSS is such an underrated gun. I understand it's not that viable. But I think it is underrated for what it can do. I love that little thing.
It shoots potatoes.
It's a free 4 times, man.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, the thing is, obviously, this loot is upped, so there's no point to run it in a traditional game where you don't get 4 times and guns everywhere.
You don't walk into a house and everything's there in a plate for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit different. But I still think in normal play, you can get some really nice stuff with the VSS. There's nothing like when you put it on like that full auto and you just, you're tapping away at someone and then someone just comes out a little bit too close, you just spray them down, you're like, you're mad and I've made you mad and that makes me happy.
When you got someone salty. So
it's such a feeling.
The big telling point is that we are at 4 minutes and Team Liquid are only just starting to move and they seem a little unsure where to go themselves. Sort of sitting around the Pochinki Hill sort of area. We saw 7 going towards there. They're almost actually going over towards the hillside, the ridge line just south of Potato, which is where G2 are as well. So it does tell you that a lot of these teams are banking on it being in around that area. Obviously that is the central point. So you can only go based on the information you have, which is as central as you can get.
Pretty much. And of course, with it being this centralized, teams don't have to shuffle too far.
They're being too greedy. They're being way too greedy, Team Liquid are. Two on Pochinki Hill, south of Pochinki, which is clashing with 7.
Look at where Samty is. Yeah, you're right. It's a wide spread.
Yeah, Samty's in the barns outside Pochinki. Jeems is way down south sort of side. Very greedy.
Stop. Just. Donk. Why are they making FaZe the raid boss here? They're just like, here you go, take all the goodies, have everything you need.
mxey's happy.
Yeah, they should have wonderful loot coming out of this. And I hope they do, because if they're coming across those bridges, teams will still be quite close to the coast. They haven't had a full reason to shift away from it. So, again, for FaZe, when they cross that bridge, if they do, it's going to be a little dangerous. Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to bridge camp it. But it's once you transition, past Petrol Station or past Milta, that kind of like, I guess, shoot-off town towards the west of it, you can get teams around that sort of marker. So I think that's where the danger could come around. Now, looking at where teams are banking on, it does seem they're looking kind of like just north of the Golden Coast, south of Potato Hill. That looks like a big cluster of teams. Apart from Liquid, of course, who've gone for that 2-2.
Yeah, NIP still going to be very late. They were obviously late to arrive. They ended up dropping West Coast and driving all the way up to South George. So slowly making their way down south. And it's also doing similar because they were way up north as well. So TSM, where do they go? Do they stick in Milta? Do they wait? I think they're waiting because obviously if it does shift south, they can instantly be over that east bridge. And they're probably aware that there's really not going to be anyone down there, barring FaZe that dropped there.
Yeah, we'll see.
FaZe are choosing to stick it out, obviously, and they're already almost at the compounds and sort of in vehicles ready to blast if they need to.
Okay. Yeah, because this... I actually stand corrected. This isn't a 2-2 from Liquid. It's a 2-1-1.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
I thought SIMSY had someone with him, but no, you're right.
Yeah.
He's so far off on his own. This is way too risky for my taste. And I mean, if there's anyone who can do it, of course it is someone that you have those heavier fraggers who can hold their own. But I don't think you're going to win a 1v4 in any of these cases now. And there's teams just congregating around this area. I'd love to see them at least pull back a little bit here. I don't want to see them get picked off.
Yeah, because I'm seeing DA sort of coming in towards them at the moment. And they could cause some upsets. Especially with the next circle shift. But obviously it buys them a position that basically they have a triangle set up around the fields of Pochinki. Whether it goes north, south, east, west, they can quickly dive to. Desperado's getting a little too close to N47 in their rotates as the circles slowly close. ENCE and NIP also very close to each other, up towards GAK way. Don't see any exchange of fire. Desperado's going to continue further down.
And as we're waiting, as you see the teams kind of scuffling around and moving around each other, someone did bring up that they think that Liquid's just scouting. I think that everyone who's watching PEL by now, that these very wide apart splits have cost them a lot of positioning, and that was the biggest problem that we had with Liquid.
Obviously they're scouting. It's
that's the point,
obvious.
Right? But
they're scouting and they are protecting positions for future circles.
Absolutely, and there's absolute merit in that, but the problem is that we saw them so often being picked apart. Those rotations were so dangerous, and it is always that fine kind of tipping point where you've gone too far. So they always have to find that balance.
It's the balance between genius and stupidity. It's a fine line.
I'm not roasting you, King Rage Quit. You're absolutely spot on. They are scouting. I don't need to tell you that. You guys, the thing is, like, most people in chat know this game, right? We don't need to spoon feed them the information. But when we've seen a team being punished over and over again with these things, we start to see the tendencies of these issues kind of happening.
Something to say for me. What my worry is James's position. That's very
purely because of rotations. You look at it. If it does hit north,
you can get hit by so many different angles from that spot.
It is a little scary. So now I want to see what they respond with. James instantly in the car, that's fine, and I do not mind it now. This is when I'd be worried if he overstayed, because look at GamerLegion, instantly looking towards that next position, maybe jump up on the hill just north of those houses they held. They could 2-2 that if they really wanted to, or maybe use the Wizard Tower on the other side of the road. They just want to move slightly further north. FaZe now need to move as well. They were on the military island, and this is much better from Liquid. I like that. Good response timing on this. They may lose out still, but that's the right time to respond. Now I want to see what TSM do here.
They go into the hill. They're going to go Pochinki Hill. They're going to completely go there, or are they going to sit on the edge of Pochinki?
They might just go Pochinki.
I think they're going to keep two on the edge of Pochinki. Reciprocity doing the same. They're going to go north side Pochinki. NIP are blasting it across the fields. I'm pretty sure they're going to start turning in. Are these teams predicting a Pochinki finish already here? There's quite a few teams starting to commit to it.
That's a 4v2 crash coming in. CrowCrowd or with the pre-nades. They might just get out of there.
On the bike.
Yeah, I think they've realized, okay, that's too many. Maybe, yeah, look at that. There's Teme and NOOKIE calling out. That's a full team crash. Get out of there. Not worth it. Nice work from CrowCrowd under the assumption they get away alive. I like that cover. Perfect.
And nice driving as well, just to finish the job. TSM came up towards Cliffs, so they've moved up. FaZe have gone across the West Bridge, so they're about to get inside. So everybody's in the circle now. It's just a case of positioning. Scout position. Ooh, Six has been caught out.
Yeah, he's in a bit of bother here. A rough area. This is the north side of Pochinki. This is just kind of over by the north end of the church, the roll off into the fields, and there's the pickup on 60. He was in a lot of danger. Those nades coming from SKUIJKE are actually pretty close by to miikaz, and Raise Your Edge again are under fire, and they don't look comfortable taking these fights.
Galaxy got flushed, NIP losing another one. Sixy also gone, so 2 players gone already. In the second phase, Desperados, they were down there. They've chose to go for a big wide rotate around the north side of Chopsticks. They've still got 2 down south Chopsticks as well. So they're looking for an approach into Pochinki maybe to see exactly what they can get close to.
Cars rendering in, always a fun one. TSM opting to go for a reserve take of the southeast coast. They've taken a house down just east of GamerLegion. It is that northwest portion that is very, very busy with teams. And you can see the kind of teams opting for two, I feel like two mindsets. You've got the kind of Pachinki teams and then the ones still thinking there's a potential for the fields to come out. So you'll have your Gemty split with Samty on the other side in Pachinki, for example. That's a perfectly reasonable split. Sevens, fine. Again, maybe allowing a little bit more room to move to those southern fields if required. Erangel does catch a glimpse of Razor Edge, who are just in no man's land, it feels.
This is not good for Razor Edge. They just... We were talking about the points, how close they are. Teams are closing in to lose a player and potentially two at this phase. Lynxie's just going to...
Headshot!
There it is. ubah catches it. And that's the second player gone.
Yeah, again, they...
Oh no, menox.
Oh, menox.
Scoom is right on them.
Scoom has been really patient. He put down those nades early on, and then he's kind of just gone dark. And I don't mind that at all. Maybe he needs for some of his team to get into a better supportive position for him to do this.
That was
great. And that looks like they're doing that now.
He just backed away and is like, they're about to push me. They're about to push over the edge. Instantly, ubah and Monkey give him the support fire he needed. They are not in a good spot here. Yeah, they're going to try and smoke their run to Church, and Scoom is ready for it. Look. He's like, yeah.
Here we go. Monkey, ubah, and Shiva now in better positions. This should allow for Scoom. Once ubah gets info, this is when Scoom needs to strike. That's good. Good tags. There it is. Perfect communication between each other. Playing reserved, but also timing it incredibly well.
Oh, man. You hate to see it, menox, but it's time to get in the car and get the hell out of there. It's a banged-up Dacia, but he's going to get out of there as best he can and just try and salvage the points. The circle, by the way, it's shrunk Pachinki way. Oh, my God, what is going on? G2, TSM, Team Liquid all crashing into the south side of Pachinki. They're all piling in at once.
Yeah, they're all going for it, and this is where Liquid's play was ingenious. If they can hold on to this, that southern side is so vital. TSM are being slaughtered, but ibby's been lost.
Well, caught out from the hillside. Iroh's also been picked off by G2, so they've benefited. They've gone for the pipes at the moment. Remember, Team Liquid, they still had two on that south side. I think there's three maybe there now as well. The Knights coming down for Potato. They're trying to get as close as they can. The problem is where G2 are. Sure, they got 2 kills, but that is a horrible spot to be in. And Na'Vi now up on the hill have a prime angle on them.
Yeah, this is looking like you're going to get your Pachinki finish, quite likely. NELLOZ trying to survive here. He's got a lot of fire coming his way. He does have support behind him, but G2 can't bail him out of this. He is out there on an island now.
Reciprocity, they've pulled into North Pachinki. 7 are sort of edging closer to the west side. DA is still in that farm compound by Pachinki, so they're still safe for now. It is pretty much the prime central spot to be had. N47, they're going to sweep around the south. The problem is that it's this open field play that really kind of runs into FaZe Clan and maybe even GamerLegion if they continue over to the sides. Desperados have regrouped up in the north here on the north side of the circle. They're also looking towards pretty much where Razor Edge just got picked apart.
No way are they sending it into this. N47, this is insanity. At this point, you know there's going to be teams here. They have to be willing to fight. Page is a mile ahead of the others, gets plucked out of the car swiftly between Michael and Rory. Gustav there does flush, and now the nades come out. TSM are going to be engaged upon, and they do have nice enough position, but they don't have high ground on the hill. That's where they're hoping Na'Vi would at least get involved towards this fight.
Back and forward the nades go. A lot of them coming out. And look at Braexco, he's got prime angle on all of TSM.
Oh my God.
They're trying to turn the angle, but G2 have just turned the screws and they're about to execute. They're just waiting for it to all play out. As soon as someone stands still, they're dead.
Take the shot, boys. Here we go. Finally starting to engage, and they've absolutely whiffed it. Michael just took down Yannis. G2 have just made an absolute mess of that.
That was a nade, not a smoke he just tossed out. There's been some soiled underwear for G2.
Rory's pushing it too. We've got to get on board with Rory. Show me what he's about to do to these guys, because they've just seen weakness and they've turned their attention towards G2. They've ignored N47. They've gone, all right, let's fold onto this while we can. They might be able to get the pressure building here.
No,
and they backed away. G2 have backed completely. It's a Pachinki end.
Oh, I love it. You love to see it. And now we're going to see teams committing. They're all going to be crashing in. Desperado's coming in the north side. 7 are just going to crash on the west side. We're going to see the Knights probably coming on the east side. Everybody's going to start crashing towards it. FaZe Clan thinking, God, we're on the furthest south spot possible. We're just going to pick up the kills as much as we can. Na'Vi coming out of the hillside of Pachinki. DA going into Pachinki. Everything is going on in there. Everybody is sending it now. They're all getting in the cars and sending it for Pachinki.
Yeah, and if you're TSM in this situation, you need to start winning one of these fights. That's a big nade towards Eiffel, but there goes Na'Vi piling in. 7s to the left, DA to the right. There's not much safety here, and Pokemon all the way finds that out. StarLadder comes flying in. This is madness right now.
Oh, Na'Vi, they just were beaten to the punch by DA to get in there first. And it gave DA the advantage to be able to turn the shots on them. 7 had already come in from the side as well. Reciprocity have moved further south, which has opened up the chance for Desperados to come in on the north side. ENCE are just on the edge, on the outskirts where 7 were and looking to find an angle. CrowCrowd and NIP, they're clashing on the hills on the west side. FaZe are coming past TSM, straight to the same spot. M47 just died.
Yeah, well, T-Bone's still up somewhere. He's in the little dip between. Aitzy has no idea. Oh, T-Bone's going to be gifted a kill at the very least. I did see it in the kill feed. There it goes. Trade comes back in. Fuzzface is there, but the danger of that entry side road is not done because TSM are still in that fight. You have GamerLegion coming in, and the Knights are finding GamerLegion. That's a huge battle for relegation.
That is just crazy. So yeah, GamerLegion, the Knights, that is, as you say, the south side is a big battle. TSM FaZe, the battle for the top spots. Meanwhile, everybody's in there. G2 managed to get 3 back on their feet somehow from this in the middle of the field. So I don't know how that worked out, but you can see the kill feed is just electric right now. ENCE have got involved in this fight with CrowCrowd, who are executing NIP, the first team, I believe, to go down for us. Desperados have made it into the north side of Pochinki. Apologies if it's going fast because the game is matching that pace at the moment. It is crazy.
The nade is phenomenal. That's found 2 events, and that's completely cut them off at the knees. And look at the push from Tiikzu. This man does not need an excuse to be aggressive. He loves a bit of it. Rustanmar is holding back at a deeper angle, spots another victim, and the beast strikes. Tiikzu is so good at the moment. That's 3 kills, completely shutting down ENCE, and Rustanmar is now cowering behind. He sees the fire coming through. The spray is there. If he had a nade, that would be banged out towards him.
He's had some amazing weeks. Oh, don't back away. You're going to get caught out, Rustanmar. Tiikzu is hungry. NOOKIE gets the angle. Meanwhile, GamerLegion have dealt with the Knights. They have absolutely finished them off down the south there. And that is huge points for GamerLegion. Absolutely needed that. And it's kept them, more importantly, with 3 alive. They're turning their attention on FaZe Clan. They've got Fuzz down. mxey is coming for the revive. But GamerLegion, after finishing that fight, can turn on them.
And now let's take stock for a second. GamerLegion do need to make it past FaZe eventually, but that's a fight beyond now because it's just ubah left standing. No, excuse me. I think mxey is reviving Fuzzface. I couldn't see him on the map. Now, Pochinki is housing all of these teams. In my mind, Reciprocity still have a wonderful portion of this. Yeah. They're in the northeast. They had that incredible engagement by the church, so their confidence should be sky high.
They won the last game we had there, if I'm not mistaken. Monkey won it from that exact same spot. So they've, obviously, this is a tried and tested for them as well. It could still pull away from Pochinki, but it's not going to. It is going to go down a little bit south, though. It keeps G2 in the game, but now FaZe and GamerLegion have to pick an angle. CrowCrowd are going to work the way in from the church and go down and look from that angle. Menox don't really know what he's going to do. You can see there's 8 teams within Pochinki already, so there's not too much real estate left to open.
No, there really isn't. And that south side, Jeems is holding a big chunk of it, and it looks like DA wants a bit of it. If they try and cross here, Jeems might just absolutely cull them down. Surely they wouldn't just cross on the street at the moment. They've got to just stay where they are, solidify that position, fortify it at this.
Fuzzy's up there. He keeps looking at him. I know he's got an M24, so he's looking for one of those big shots. That's GamerLegion getting lit up, and that's actually G2, I think, catching on them there. Chris found the angle along with Yannis. FaZe, they can't move closer until GamerLegion are dealt with down that road, and then they have to obviously look towards GamerLegion.
There's the shot. That's going to be a point pickup. If you're GamerLegion, you've got to decide, do we switch into just try and frag out mode here? It looks like mxey might have been spotted there. I don't know if McIndoc saw him so cleanly. Angle, and got to be careful. He can't run to that tree because you know it's going to probably be naded. There's the nade from mxey. This is the checklist he has to keep in mind. This isn't just a clear, easy fight.
Good nade. That's going to go. That's gone straight through. That's a really nice nade. It's forced mxey. Look at that. Big chunk of damage onto mxey. CrowCrowd, they tried to crash it. They got taken down. They went into Pochinki, but instantly got eliminated by, well, everyone. Desperado's the main predominant killer.
He's so good at this. He provides off angles. He makes it. The McIndoc can't sit there anymore. That's the brilliance of someone like ubah. He will find that one angle that will just leave it enough pressure to move in your next teammate.
NIP kept 2 alive, but they're starting to put some damage onto 7 there. I think that nade finished the job. Razor Edge go down. That's going to be an 11th place finish for them, so a big fat 0 for them. And that, again, we saw GamerLegion picking some points up. They may even just leapfrog towards Razor Edge and slump the Knights down into relegation once again.
Yeah, and Fex unable to provide much support there. He's playing for survival now, maybe trying to jump a couple of spots, but that's all he can really achieve. And eventually our eyes have to turn towards that Pochinki fight to take stock of what these teams actually have control of.
Yeah, Team Liquid with a really wide spread covering sort of the south triangle effectively. With James, Jempty and Samty, they did lose Ibby early on the hill. DA with the 4 in the compound, and you can just see on your screen how crowded it is. You've all dropped in PUBG. You all know how it is to fight between these buildings, how sometimes people can just sneak up on you without any realizing, and that's just happened to James. He should be able to get supported by Jempty. He can go building to building. DA not going to push it because that's an open road, and you can see Samty holding the angle.
Yeah, if they had a follow-up nade or something, it looks like CrzyZZ did get an angle on it, actually. Jempty's in danger. That is huge. Okay, so this, I was literally thinking, if this moves south, CrzyZZ's position and G2's is nuts.
Massive, yeah.
It's actually really hard to play out against because you have so much vision across the entirety of those fields and the push out.
Here we go.
Na'Vi now getting engaged upon by NIP. That's the first wave here.
Yeah, this is, oh my god. Desperado's going to swing it down the south edge, southwest. The Pachinki and try and work down there. 7 are doing the same. 7 are moving on DA right now as well. So while we're going to have building-to-building battles, Reciprocity going to go down on towards the ditches and work the way straight down the eastern edge of Pachinki. And the ones in the middle, Na'Vi and NIP, are going to fight it out.
Oh, so unaware. 7 try to move up, and ABeautflDeath with a little bit of an off angle on that building, just holding the isolated building, supporting the others. So if any of 7 try to move up on that route, they'll instantly get spotted.
James got finished off. I didn't notice that. Jempty was unable to get to him because of CrzyZZ's angle, so it took Team Liquid down to 2. You can see Desperados, as I say, they're going down the side. They're going to sort of come into the back of 7. Meanwhile, you can see on the minimap, just sort of south of the screen, Reciprocity are working their way down the ditches. And Desperados, this is a horrible run, but they've made it work. 7 have gone down, but the DA are next.
Yeah, they've lost SIMSY in the meantime, though, and you can see Jempty's nade did find Scoom, so that's on the eastern side. This is on the western side. Jempty is going to have to try and keep control of that as well. That's a big, big crunch point for Team Liquid. And it looks like the Desperados have moved up enough that they're going to slow down for a second, maybe try and get the heals. That next couple of buildings in front of them are in the safety. That's where they might have to head towards, but DA are desperate to try and keep them back.
NIP are looking to cross the street, basically over towards Desperados. Desperados have 4 on the feet there, so it'd be a risky play. They realize they're going to have to go straight up to Na'Vi. They've managed to get into the next building. Desperados, you can see, hopping up over the walls and continuing on their push. They're now inside the circle. NIP still not quite there.
No, not yet. Desperado's utilizing the field side here, and I don't mind it. It's a little bit risky. You have to win those 1v1 fights, but SIMSY's up for it. He's taken the fight as best he can right next to ABeautflDeath. Now, if they had a nade, a molly, something... Oh my god, Calvin leaping up and... Oh, he's got it through the window! That's so sick. SIMSY pushes in as well. He got the tag on him, weakened him up, and this is bullying.
That was great. That was using that little fence line to hop up and over. Mitraleius will get Calvin down, though, to even things up to a 3-on-3. SIMSY back in the doorway. Don't know if they realise that Mert is still here. That little nade. Oh, he's just trickled it in. That's going to do a lot of damage to SIMSY. Doesn't see it, doesn't know it's there. Will eventually go off, but he didn't manage to catch him. TomiL now realises there's somebody else still in this little house. My word. Miraku's been caught out in the background there, by the way. NBS now the last man for a nip. He's going to get sent down.
Yeah, nice work from MBS, trying to be a real pain in the arse, if I'm honest. Aduzi's desperate to get back into it, but he can't find the angle safely, because look at everyone else. And here is the Circle Lee. What an absolute bait for these teams. Hey, look at Pachinki. No. We're going to the fields.
We're going to the fields. And Fex, by the way, is still on that hill. Oh, that's in your face. Ultra meant that one. Takes MBS down as he comes out the chippy. Mert waiting for SIMSY to come around, still trying to hold the angle. He wasn't ready. Truns to sprint straight in, and TomiL had just been down as well, so he's going to get flushed out as well. And now Ultra, I think, is maybe the last man standing. Where's Calvin? Calvin's gone as well. Yeah, Ultra's the last man standing for Desperados. Aduzi the last man for Na'Vi. And they're all well outside this circle. They're still going to lose. And look at Reciprocity. Reciprocity holding it.
CrzyZZ. Fex just got the knock and flush on CrzyZZ. This has weakened G2 massively. They could have held such a big crossfire there on any team leaving Pachinki. That's been ruined now. Nice play from Fex. A little bit of a nuisance, to say the least. And FaZe get a bit of info too. They can move up now. They can start building towards it. They're all looking that way. Ultra needs to leave the building, but he doesn't move the first one out because he knows death awaits.
mxey's just moved up, and that leaves G2 basically with the pipe to play with. There's not a lot they can go there. Aduzi goes down in the blue. So he's been dealt with. Team Liquid still holding the angle. Reciprocity all need to move into them. DA, they're still all outside the circle. You can see DA's approach. They want to go to the fields. They don't want any of this building to building. They're going to smoke their approach and try and get across.
Rec need to push through. Not only DA, but Liquid is their big challenge here. They've spotted out DA. They've got a couple of tags towards them, but now DA are making their way through the fields. There's a little bit of dips and a little bit of cover to work with, but it's not much. SIMSY's getting flanked on. Shiv has just leapfrogged ahead. That's massive for Reciprocity.
That's not good for Team Liquid. Shiv's got around the back of them. Genty is trying to hop her out the backside window here. The smoked approach is going towards him. That nade is...
Oh, no! He's still got 4 more. How has Shiv got this many? And Fex just found Yannis. The reply did come in from Braexco. So GamerLegion do go down, but he got a couple of points in the end and really threw a spanner in the works here for G2.
I'm amazed that DA got across his field, but okay, now it's opened up. ubah manages to catch one out. Genty goes down.
What?
SIMSY turns around, gets one. Can he get the second? Almost manages to finish it off. Shiv's going to try and cook that nade out. He's got no time. The blue's on his back. He's going to have to vault out. Danger on him. Shiv straight away. He's got 4 hit points and a dream. Shiv ducks down. Monkey catches him out. And Team Liquid fall. Reciprocity taking them down. But now G2 FaZe DA. It's a 2v2v2v2 as we move into the fields of Pochinki. What in the world is happening in this game? FaZe, by the way, have the best position now.
I would say that, but once mxey gets pushed out of this, it's hard. He has to slot in with ubah, and you lose that vision across the fields. Then you get kind of tunneled down towards G2, but it is probably the safer position because no one can go southeast on them. So they have a safety side. Same to a degree with G2. Their east is safe once Reciprocity have to move. DA are in prone town. They will not move. There is a vehicle in the middle they could maybe kind of crawl up to if required. Reciprocity have the hardest approach now.
Braexco still with 4 nades. That could be massive. Did Monkey just see the crawl or not? Well, I think he'd have fired, but Shiv sees it. So Mitraleius damage. Gotta move. The smoke's down, so he's going to get the tree. That's fine for Shiv. There's plenty of smokes out there. ubah sees G2, though, as they try and get the nades towards Reciprocity.
Yeah, Monkey's in danger as well. Everyone's trying to pile in on these final kills. G2's eyes are drilled towards that, but they have to be careful that FaZe doesn't use this as the time to move up. Braexco's nade does find Shiv. He's been taken away from the tree, and here comes the next one. Monkey, can he outlive this barrage coming in?
That's gone straight over to Shiv, so Monkey the last man for Reciprocity. As soon as he stands up, DA see him and try and eliminate him. The nades come immediately towards him. And that's going to catch, that's going to catch Monkey. No!
Oh, it's a lucky boy. Staying alive, he's almost in on the circle. I don't know if he's quite there yet. He's just on the precipice, but he's being kept safe by a smoke, I'm pretty sure. And this is just last-ditch attempt on nades, trying to do something. Yep. Yeah, he's just in the safety. And here we go. 4 teams alive, 7 players. Mitraleius still prone. He's a big player to have in this final circle, though. FaZe, pretty nice position to play from, as is G2's.
Well, Braexco onto mxey. That little wooden shack, that's almost the central point, slightly off-center, and obviously G2 nearest to it, but there's a lot of nades still coming their way from Monkey. He's managed to find more, gets down in the dip, gets the shot onto Braexco. Does FaZe push it? Does ubah go for it? ubah does. ubah's on the move. He's coming from the backside. Yannis realizes the danger, but does he see ubah? You can see it on the X-ray.
Look how wide he's going
around.
This is such a wide swing. Oh, ubah, you better win this 1v1 because you are out in the middle of no man's land. He's got 1 chance to bang this out. He's got the 3 times. He's ready to go. Spray is okay. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Down they go. We're down to 2 teams, 4 players.
Monkey just bought them a chance, and now the problem is with DA, they're in the field, but look, they've got to burn out wreckage here, 6mo does. They can use that to work with, but what else have they got? Look at it, it's open, it's exposed. FaZe have got a little cover, and they're nearest to the central point, so it's DA that have to move.
So well done so far. Tags coming out, 6mo. Oh, he's got 4 nades still. DA actually could really do well in this, but I worry because FaZe are so good at these last moments. Here come those smokes. That's their chance to start dividing this final circle up to find a way forward. And they get the first spot, and that's dangerous. Mitraleius just found ubah. It's a 1v2.
It's all on mxey. mxey gets caught out. He manages to get one down, but it's pretty close. 45 health. To Mitraleius, who's fully healed up. It was 6mo that had the nades, right? Not Mitraleius. So yeah, Mitraleius doesn't have the nades. It was all on 6mo, so now it's a straight-up one-on-one. ubah, he's crawling forward. He's trying to give as much information as he can. It's the body of ubah you can see. He's crawling forward, and he's going to have a clear vision on Mitraleius in a second, and he's giving the information to mxey. That singular smoke, it's about to fade. It's going. There's nothing covering Mitraleius anymore.
6mo's going to call it as well. They both know where they are. Takes out one. Mitraleius now the blue is very close to him. They're going to have to keep crawling forward. mxey gets a touch of the blue. He has to make the play. He's being proactive. Mitraleius trying to be cautious, trying to be careful. He takes down one, and it's going to be FaZe to close it down. mxey in the end, that 1v2 he pulled off was impressive.
He looked across at ubah at the exact moment that mxey peeked around the bushes. Nice comms, whatever was working between them. And FaZe Clan, would you believe it? When they were on the deep south, they made the play, they make it work, and they equal their 13 wins from Phase 2. They were the Phase 2 champions. They were the Grand Slam champions at GLL. Will they be the Phase 3 champions? They're holding that top spot cleanly now.
Yeah, good game from them. That Southern play paid dividends, and I can't wait to hear what they thought of that circle at the end with Parla.
Thank you, Lauren, for that. What an exhilarating match, guys. Congratulations. mxey, let's talk about the end straight away. It was yourself and ubah. ubah made a very smart push after Monkey got into the engagement with G2. Was that a team decision or a solo play?
I think ubah was calling that one of G2 got knocked, so it's time to push from the right and clear them out, so we have the whole side. And then I came and he went really wide right and just killed them both, and we got that side free, and then it was 2v2.
ubah, how was it playing in that moment? It looked very intense.
What moment? Against G2?
Yeah, where you made the push after Monkey and G2 had a little engagement.
I mean, like, they had just one guy just rest up, so he was low HP, so it was kind of easy push. I don't think they had all the resources to defend, so it wasn't that hard, but I kind of missed some bullets, but still managed to get him.
Well, you're a monster, mate. Easy push. And mxey, you were in the final moments. How much of the vision on Mitraleius was your own and compared to your team? Did they help you out?
It was 100% ubah and Fuzz like telling where he is all the time. And in the later in the end, when I was going far left, ubah was saying, give me a second. He's gonna crawl, and bait him to shoot him. And then at the same time, I peeked and got a free kill for him.
Now, Fuzzface, let's quickly go back to the start of the match. We saw the circle go over like South Central, including military, and it looked like a bunch of the teams, potentially including yourself, maybe predicted a Pochinki finish.
No, I mean, we stayed on Mille's circle for the first circle, and then when it shifted hard up north, then we just played it slow from the south side.
And how did you find the Pochinki finish overall? It's always hectic. I love to see that sort of finish personally.
It's super nice if you can get into the zone. That's like the hard part. As soon as you get into the zone, then you can usually do something with it, but it's really hard to get into it.
Aitzy, you also had some good moments in that game. It looked like you had some clear vision. How was it for you, and are you happy with the win?
I'm very happy with the win, and I got to steal some kills as well, so that, yeah, it helps.
Well, good work. Congratulations, FaZe. You guys are powerhouses of competitive PUBG. You better go and get ready for the final match of the day. Let's head back to the desk.
Pochinki Fields we go to finish things off. What a finish to that game. Everybody, so many people committing to Pochinki. It was not to be in terms of an urban ending, but it did certainly influence the results as we continue things on. Froz, Avenger joining me here as things stand. That was, yeah, that was quite the fiery end towards all of that. ubah making the plays, mxey listening out for his team to be able to show him exactly where the last remaining member is. I love hearing about that kind of team coordination.
Yeah, I mean, we love to see that. One thing to take away is that FaZe, they were playing on the south side the whole time of Pochinki. They never entered the town because they were expecting to go back south, and they knew they were so late to that town fight, so they didn't want to go inside. Going inside would probably be suicide for them. They just expected the best, and it worked out for them.
Honestly, like, I would expect the amount of teams going into Pochinki when we had Pochinki that centered in fourth circle, then it going south 3-4 times in a row. Can't really do much about that. But as Frost said, like, FaZe, they're so late. This is the only play for them. There's no way they're going to try to make it in. But how FaZe are making sure that they're the last team to enter to make sure that they can wipe out all the teams on the south side so they then take this amount of control just shows what an amazing team they are.
They also have plenty of time to actually scout things out, seeing, okay, where's the free houses over in Pochinki if we need to crash? Where do we want to play from? What is the enemies doing right now, and what should we be doing? One thing to take away is also ubah, when he was going there for the G2 finish there. Oh, that was so beautiful with the transition. And we heard ubah, he was tweeting the other day, he was like, hey, I don't feel like...
I don't feel 100%. I feel like I'm underperforming at the moment. If this is ubah underperforming, then I hope he's overperforming for PGC, because then he's going to be unstoppable.
I mean, there's a lot of confidence behind the idea of moving out into that road, to trying to find that angle. If you don't get the spray down, you're dead, because there's no cover for you, technically speaking. But very powerful.
It is a risk, but at the same time, he knows that he's taking a risk.
It's calculated.
But it's a calculated risk to take the win.
Definitely so, as we take a look at how everything was going down inside Pochinki, and there was a bit of chaos here, there, and everywhere, to be honest, Avenger.
Overall, like how the teams were transitioning and moving from house to house, I was happy to see how well Reciprocity were able to do, also Liquid, obviously, but when the circle goes south this many times in a row, and you were already in Pochinki, you need to position yourself to make sure that you can get out at one point or get as many kills as possible, which the majority of the teams, they actually did.
That's what Liquid did. They were holding south side, but they sent James to the grandma.
Yeah.
Holding that, making sure that little road there between their stack and the stack north of them, he was just gatekeeping everybody there.
9th through 16th, and for Raise Your Edge today has been arguably an unmitigated disaster. 0 points coming in for them in this game. So they have had how many points today?
I can count on one hand. One.
One. You can count on one finger. One.
One finger even.
You can count on one ear. Like, and our first through 8th, we have 21 points going over towards FaZe Clan, as they're already up towards the top anyway. As we have Digital Athletics getting themselves 14 points on the board, and that'll be pushing them above
I'm going to tell you this, DA, it's not over yet. They're currently sitting on 14th place, but they can still make it out of the relegation spots. If they keep on playing this well, we saw them yesterday as well popping up in one of the games. They had 14, was it 14 kills or 15? Whatever, it was really good. Right now, 14 points in this game at least, and that's gonna push them up there.
Definitely so, almost 1,200 damage done. FaZe getting themselves 1,500 or so. Avenger, as that does sway things in the overall leaderboards, I think FaZe still quite comfortably at the top now with that many points.
30 points lead down to Liquid, as you're gonna see here. Oof. And a solid lead from Liquid also down to TSM, because Liquid managed to get a lot of this. And again, a little bit of lead down to Na'Vi. It's getting very stabilized at the top, but Liquid can still make it. TSM can still catch Liquid if Liquid underperforms for the last match and tomorrow, but it's looking very likely to be either Liquid or FaZe Clan to take the win.
Look towards the bottom instead, though. GamerLegion currently on 11th place now. They pushed themselves up there and Raise Your Edge. They could go down to relegation now. Pittsburgh Knights currently down there, and DA, as I said, they could make it up there. They don't need to be down there.
Yeah, definitely so. Still a lot to play for. Avoid relegation, try and seize the championship, get yourself into the top 8 for the prize money, or get 9th and 12th and just come back next year. That's a very exciting moment for them, I suppose, to try and keep alive.
Survival is exciting, James.
2020, yes. You know what? That's actually one of my favorite bits of PUBG, just the survival aspect. Trying to find yourself your little spot, sitting there, making a little camp.
Who's best on that?
Do you mean here or in the tournament?
In the tournament.
In the tournament, who's best at that? Digital Athletics, kind of.
I'm excited to see this fight for the last relegation spot, especially the Knights. For me, I kind of counted DA out now at this point. Yes, they have had their best week so far, but the amount of points they will need to take over one of those guys, it's unlikely that they're going to be able to add that on top.
If they embrace their inner survivor, Digital Athletics could do it.
Their inner Michael?
That's, yes. You could say that.
Okay.
Look, I believe in DA, man.
Yeah.
I believe in them. They can still do it. They just need to stop going for the center and not doing anything. Go for the edge play. When they do the edge play and they go aggressive.
They popped off on Miramar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we had 21 matches we're going to have 21 matches this week. We've played 14 so far, right?
Correct.
They've gotten 89. Right? So if they continue their performance so far and they're going to end on 133 points. Minus 89. That's going to be...
Why are you doing
44. Wait. That's going to be 44.
He has a calculator.
No.
Does he?
That's going to be... No. That's going to be 44 points. Like, that means...
I don't see the calculator.
That means that means that tomorrow, Knights will have to get 12 points or less. Raise Your Edge have to get 13 points or less. And Digital Legs need to continue their performance here. So it's very unlikely that Ratio Edge, Knights, and GamerLegion, all three are gonna have 12 points or less.
Let me put it this way then. What do you have to lose if you're DA right now?
You want to make a bid?
No, what do you have to
Okay.
lose if you're DA right now?
Nothing. Of course they have to make
It's
a run
time
for
to
it.
hot drop.
They have no. They have there's 3 teams. They have
Yeah.
to beat just one of them, I know, but the other teams will most likely outperform them.
Well, that's the thing, right? You gotta take a gamble here. You gotta take it.
I would say start playing like you want. Well, honestly, to be fair, like right now, they might be having at the mindset and say, okay, let's just play like we're gonna do playing in relegation. But why haven't they been playing this like all season? They're currently 5th after 14 games. They've been playing so well. This is the DA I want to see. This is the edge adapting DA I want to see compared to how they are now. They like, I like this step up. It's good, but I really doubt they're gonna be able to make it out of relegation. So,
Froz, rebuttal?
Huh?
Do you have a rebuttal?
Let him have what he think. Let him have it. Just let him have it. I mean, I've said my
no,
word.
I'm just saying, like,
It's
from
still possible.
From a statistical point of view, them like Ratio Edge, Knights, and GamerLegion, for them to have 12 points or less in 6 games is really unlikely.
Well,
We've
Ratio
seen
Edge
it.
so far 1 point in 4 games.
I know, but
And it happened before as well.
back to back days, 1 point. Like, nah, come on. I want to give them more credit than that.
I just need like a cognac, just kind of chilling here, smoker's Jack Axe.
This is what an
Wait,
analyst
what do you
is all
think?
about, right?
What do you think? What are your opinion on this?
Statistical point of view.
I intentionally don't give my opinion as much as I can.
Are you leaning back?
I'm chilling out, all right?
Well, this was a really interesting talk, though. I
agree.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, we're done. We're done.
Look, okay, Knights so far, they got 19 points today.
Yeah.
And I mean, it comes
They have
out.
been overperforming.
It comes out from the first 2 games.
Right.
They had 13 of those points.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. I'm just hoping for some Eastern circles on Erangel, so let's hope for the next game to be an Eastern circle, so Knights can get some damn circle luck, because they haven't gotten anything so far
That's
this
some
season.
Great breakdown. Thanks, boys.
That's what it is.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have some fun here. We like doing what we do. And another company that loves having fun here at PEL is Samsung. Thank you very much to them for joining us here at PEL Phase 3 with their C27 RG5, as they've provided those beautiful monitors to all of our players here to be playing along the way. We're going to a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we return, it's our final Erangel of the day, our final game of the day. Let's see if Mr. Avenger gets his wish for his circles. We'll see you in a few.